here. Barrett 12. All right, let me adjust that, throw it up there. Cool, sorry, I look a little ragged because been a busy day or two, just kind of the way it goes. Haven't done a live in the garage in a while, but a little busy, so I can't really run too much. I threw up some of the basic information in there. I'll be chatting with you guys as I get some weights ready. I'm gonna get a workout in. I've been in the hospital for the past couple days. We're finally home. So now I'm gonna just stretch a little bit, not leave the house, but get a little at home workout in. And figured I'd give you guys a little update on the family. Obviously, we're growing, we're getting better, we're doing good. Everybody's healthy, everybody's happy. Mom's doing great. Barrett's doing, or baby number two, Barrett is doing amazing. And then our toddler, Harlan, is just the best big brother ever. Loving life, doing great, loves his brother, abundantly caring, abundantly kind. Uh, Truly, just it's been a great 2 days since he's met his little brother and kind of started to learn what it's like to not always be the center of attention with mom and dad. Learn what it's like to have a baby at the house. Learn what it's like to have patience and be gentle. And it's just been an amazing thing to watch. So we're doing great. Family's doing great. I'm gonna set up some weights. We're gonna talk. We're gonna chat. We're gonna do it. It's good chance for me to update everybody. I've had a lot of thousands of comments, and I'm super grateful for all of them. Everybody's been amazing. Just trying to keep up with everybody, and this is a good venue to do so while I just kind of stretch all my muscles and everything. And you know, hospital beds are great, and the little bed they give the dad is okay. It's not bad. I've slept in a lot worse, but you get a little stiff in there after being in there for 3 days. So I'm gonna stretch a little bit. We're gonna chat, and without further ado, thank you all for logging on. Please drop any questions, any comments, anything you have in there. I'm gonna set up while we're doing this, and we'll get a little chat going. So obviously the house is a little bit of a mess. Uh, it's difficult to leave for several days and expect everything, especially a toddler running around. It's difficult to leave for a couple days and expect things not to get a little jacked up. So let's see. Spacefire Star says hi. Hi, good to see you on here. Malo says this. Aw, thank you. Yeah, no, it's we're thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for coming to chat and have some conversations. Uh, yeah, we're just we're all incredibly blessed. Oh, I got one of my sisters and my mom and my nephew. They're visiting, so we got extra baby stuff everywhere too. So, are you a working dad? Yes, yes, I am a working dad. I'm about to be a working out dad. Um, although I am on paternity leave dad, so taking a little bit of time for the fam there. Let's see. I'm a pet dad. That's awesome. Good for you. We've got to get a wind warning. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. It's that's awesome. Yeah. Definitely. For several years, we did not have kids. So we're being married, being young, developing ourselves into careers, kind of establishing ourselves as a married couple, finishing college together, starting our professional careers, all of that. So we waited a little while to have kids. Sorry, I got a weird update on my phone. But so we were pet parents for quite a while. Love our fur babies, still do to this day. Love them to death. But now we have two. It's weird to say two children of our own, and that's a whole new experience. And I hope you get to experience that one day because it really is completely life changing to go from living for yourself, and yeah, you've got pets, and there's some responsibility that comes with that. I'm not saying it's responsibility free, but you know, you live for your pets, you live for yourself. You can kind of still do whatever you want, man. You know, at the end of the day, if you leave a dog alone for 8 hours, they're probably going to be okay. Just give them water, give them food, and let them out to pee when you get home. Yeah, you cannot do that with a baby. You can hardly leave them alone for 80 minutes. 8 minutes, 80 minutes, much less, God forbid, you try to do that for 8 hours. It would not end well for anybody, and you would definitely go to jail, as you should. But no, it's a good thing. It's a good it's a good development piece in life to get up there. So let's see. Hey, you got weeds in your lawn? Yeah, I do have a few weeds in my lawn. Yes, it is just one of those things where, you know, you blink and all of a sudden it's 80 degrees and the grass grows 5 inches. So yes, we do. Just had to I mowed the grass before we left. We got a showing on the house because our house is for sale tomorrow. So I got to pick up a few things and get ready to have the house presentable so people can come look at it and hopefully they'll buy it. That'll be great. Let me see. She is pregnant. Your wife is pregnant? No, my wife just gave birth. So I threw it up there in there if you want some of the information. So our second son was born late Thursday. It was kind of a ride, man. The didn't kind of work out exactly as we planned, and that's okay because everybody's healthy, everybody's happy. But we arrived on Thursday to do a 39-week induction, and unfortunately, she wasn't really progressing that fast. So we got in at 9 a.m. and she had kind of been stuck at 3 centimeters. And so at 4 p.m., doctor comes in. He goes, "Hey, let me just do a check. You probably should have been progressing a little bit more with the Pitocin and everything." And they had done a check at 9 a.m. We got there. Everything was good. Baby's in position. We're ready to go. And my son had managed to turn himself around to where he was breech. And so doc looks at us and he goes, "You're not going to believe this. Baby's breech now." We're like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, he literally flipped himself around." So, which was great. And we're like, "Okay, so we doing a C-section?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to try to do an aversion." We're like, "Okay." I saw a video on that. It was crazy. It was insane. But my wife had already had an epidural at that point. So he was like, "Yeah, we can try it." So they cut the Pitocin off. He gave her a muscle relaxant. And then we had to wait a couple minutes for the Pitocin to kind of cycle down and the muscle relaxant to take effect. And he goes, "All right, you guys ready?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we love our OBGYN. He delivered my first son. He's just an amazing guy. Just absolutely amazing doctor, and trust him to death. And I was like, "All right, let's do this." And he goes, "All right, well, I got a lot of people that want to watch because this isn't an uncommon procedure, but it's not that common." We're like, "Okay." So he's like, "I got a bunch of students that want to come watch." We're like, "That's cool. Bring them on in." So there was a couple other students that came in, and all the nurses were kind of peeking into the room because they all wanted to watch. And they're like, "All right, it's going to be a little crazy." So they're doing the ultrasounds. They can track where his head is and his body and the cord and all that. And he just kind of comes in. He does a little stretch. I was like, "Oh, you're like getting ready. He's like, "Yeah." And he grabs, he finds where his head is and finds his back, finds his spine. He goes, "All right." And he just, I'm watching him just with all of his strength just turn my son around inside of my wife's belly and just turns him 180 degrees. It took him 4 tries, but on the 4th try, he got him. He's like, "All right." They did the ultrasound. He goes, "All right, we're good. Let's go have a baby." And then, he had to go drink some water and take a break because it took a lot out of him. I was like, wow, that was pretty crazy. My wife's just sitting there the whole time going, "I can't feel it, but that's amazing." And they had the TV in front of her with the ultrasound, so she was kind of watching it the whole time going, "I can't believe that's inside of me." I'm like, "I can't either. That's crazy." But, so we did that. It worked successful. So and beforehand, he come in, he goes, "Hey, national average for this procedure is 50% success rate." He goes, "I'm 3 for 5 though. Let's make it 4 for 6. I'm like, "Yeah, let's make it 4 for 6. So he did. And so 4 for 6. We're doing great. So that's at 4 p.m. So then they get her back on Pitocin. She starts progressing. She's at like between 5 and 6 centimeters. Doc comes in and check, and he goes, "Yeah." he stuck his arm out. And we're like, what? And he goes, stuck his arm out. We're gonna try to put his little arm back in. We're tickling his fingers. He's not having any of it. His arm's kind of wedged in the birthing canal. So, sorry guys, it's gonna be a C-section after all. We tried. And I'm like, hey, you tried, man. And of course, my wife was devastated. She had felt some defeat. She really wanted to give birth to our second son naturally, just like we did our first, but it just wasn't in God's plan for us, I suppose. So I did what I did, which is say, okay, yeah, that's what you think, doc. You know, it's what you think. And then she kind of nodded, and she's crying. We were talking, and she goes, you know, she kind of calmed down, and so I just started cracking jokes because it's what I do. And so she's laughing, and she's rolling, and we weren't an emergency, so is when the OR opened up. There was a couple of emergency C-sections ahead of us, so we had some time, which was good because it helped my wife get in the right headspace for the procedure. And she's rolling, she's laughing, she's like, it hurts so bad, quit telling jokes. I'm like, okay. And they were all over the place, but one of the ones was they put a little cap on her, and I looked at her and I said, okay, honey, yeah, I want a chocolate milk and some pizza to go along my tray, ma'am. She goes, are you calling me a lunch lady? I was like, yeah, you look like a lunch lady. So she thought it was funny. There are other things than that. I don't remember them all. It was kind of off the cuff. But so she was good. She goes, okay, yeah, I'm good. You know, we prayed about it. She's like, all right, yeah, I trust the doctor. I feel comfortable. Like, let's go do this. I'm like, okay. So now it's 10 p.m. We go back. She's having the C-section. So I come in. You know, I feel like a G because everybody's all there waiting. I come walking in my nice white suit, and I'm like, oh, waiting for me? All right, let's get this show started. And they all laugh. My wife's laughing. And they're like, okay, you gotta stop laughing. But so we go in, do the procedure. I stand up. You know, I see her innards have become her outards. But she's just having a good time. So Doc was like, hey, here's my cell phone. Put it on whatever playlist you want. She's like, I want to listen to country music. She's like, okay. So she's playing Reba McEntire, listening to Fancy. And so she's just talking with the nurse and talking with the, you know, anesthesiologist or the CNA and everybody. And we're just having a whole conversation. I kind of look over, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, here comes baby. And she's like, what? And she's like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. And then poof, and you hear him crying. She goes, okay. And she's holding my hand. I got his phone in one hand, playing music for her. She's holding my hand. And I was like, because originally I was going to cut the cord just like I did for my first son. And so Dr. Walker looks at me, and he goes, hey, Nate, you good? I'm like, give me a minute. And he goes, I don't have a minute. And I was like, all right, sounds good, dude. And so he cut his cord, and they sent off. And I was like, all right, well, is what it is. Because, you know, she's bleeding, and they're trying to get everything fixed. So so he goes, they're cleaning up my son. He's doing great. And they're putting my wife back together, and they're moving quick, you know, and they're doing their counts. So 5 sponges, 7 tools, you know, 7 eyes of newt, and a little lizard, whatever it is, right? You know, so they're doing all their stuff, and great success. My wife just kind of sits there, and she's like, wait, are we done already? I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, I thought it was gonna be way worse. I'm like, you got good drugs. Good drugs and a good team. So we get all done with that. I go back. I take Barrett back with me. We get back to the recovery room. We set up. You know, we get him cleaned up, get him swaddled. He's hungry. He's waiting on mom. Obviously, I'm just chilling with him, just kind of holding him, loving on him. They bring her back in. She's doing great. She's sore, but she's great. And yeah, it was good. Fed him, loved him. Had a good time. A couple days in the hospital to make sure she was good, make sure he was good. Everybody checks out fine. We did, and there's a couple videos if you get on the page. So my son, my toddler, his name's Harlan. He did come see Barrett and mom and dad in the hospital the day we were going to get released. And he was amazing. He was so excited to be there. He was so happy to be a big brother. He really wanted to see his little brother. He comes in the room, and he's just his eyes light up. It was really weird because he kept like sticking his tongue out, trying to be funny, make the baby laugh. Baby was asleep, but he doesn't get it. And no, they were just. It's been great. It's been great since. Definitely a feel good story. Not what we planned on, not what we intended, but definitely a truly happy outcome on all regards. So family's doing great. We're doing great. She's doing great. Baby's doing great. Toddler's doing great. All the family that's been visiting us has been doing great. So we're good over here. And thank you for all the support too. I mean, when I tell you, I have had literally thousands of comments from people either on the videos or sending me emails. I'm super grateful. Thank you all for the love and the prayers and the support. It really means a lot. And my wife has seen some of the comments because we were out walking today, and somebody was commenting about how, you know, you'd never know that she was having major surgery 3 days ago. She's doing awesome, and how strong she is. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. She's a superhero. I mean, I think all women are superheroes to be able to have kids, but she had major surgery like 3 days and 1.5 hours ago, and she's out here walking and playing with my son and building toys and feeding a baby, and then doing stuff with him, and then like helping me balance the budget and figure out what we need to do to get the house ready to sell. And I'm just like, were you like just strapped to a bed? And she's like, yeah, well, not anymore, let's go. I'm like, let's do it, honey. And people think like I'm the crazy one. So no, it's been good. It's been good. It just shows you that picking the right partner can really make your life. And I'll catch back up. I see there's been some comments. I am woefully behind. I'm just a super proud dad and a super proud husband. So obviously I have not really been working out. I'm also a little delirious because I haven't slept much. But which is why I did not drive to the gym. I am working out at home, so I'm right here if somebody needs me. And honestly, it's probably not safe for me to drive right now. So, but anyway, I'll catch back up in the comments a little bit, and then I want to take that as a natural pivot point to kind of talk like, having the right partner makes the right life, right? So let's see. Hello. Hi, Diego. Oh, good. I am caught up. All right, perfect. So, hi, Diego. But having the right partner really does make the right life. So, obviously, I'm glowing. I'm proud. I'm super happy with my wife and everything she's done. I'm so grateful to have beautiful, healthy boys and the home we have and all of that, right? But that would not be possible without my wife. And if you're young, even if you're old, or if you're like me, you're an old guy still thinks he's young, but whatever it is incredibly important to have the right partner, establish good boundaries together, live within those boundaries, and then blow past everything you thought that you knew and just grow and excel together and push your limits together. And that's incredibly important. And when you find the person who's great there, it's not about how great they look or how good they can dance or how far they can throw a ball. No, it's way more than that. You have to understand who they are. It says Jesus loves you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Theology, religion, that's part of it too. It's understanding who you are on a social level, understanding who you are on a theological level, understanding who you are on an educational level, emotional level, all of those things. It all plays a massive role. And if you can tell, I'm so proud of my wife. I think she's handled this incredible. Her physical recovery, her mental recovery, because something that you have to watch for, and fellas, ladies too, but fellas especially, you have an important role as a father postpartum. Yes, you're there to help take care of the kids. Yes, you're there to pick things up because you physically can't pick things up. Yes, you're there to cook, to clean, to keep everyone safe, to provide. But you're also there to watch, and you're there to care. So postpartum depression is a very serious thing, and it has different signs and symptoms and all that. But the number one person who's going to be there to notice the problem, even if the woman can't notice the problem herself, is her spouse or her significant other if you're not married. Your partner is the first line of defense for some of the negative consequences that can come out of that massive hormone letdown that you get, right? When a woman goes through pregnancy, she will have more hormones go through her body than a woman who never goes through pregnancy has in about 300 years. It is just an absolutely insane increase in hormones there. And when it's inside your body, it's called a hormone, your body. When it passes the blood-brain barrier into your brain, we call it a neurotransmitter. So obviously, hormones that can pass through the blood-brain barrier are also neurotransmitters, which means what affects your body for the sake of, giving birth or attachment and all that also affects your brain in different areas. Some of it is love and affection, some of it is anxiety, some of it is just long-term eidetic memory, all of the above, right? Those are all things that are interacted with between the physical changes it makes on your body and the chemical physical changes it makes inside of your brain. So your spouse is your number one defense for identifying that there may be a problem, asking if there may be a problem, caring for the person if they need a problem, and the more important part is escorting that person to help, right? And I know if you're in the soldier, you're like, oh, he just quoted Ace. Yeah, I get that, but it applies to more than just suicide, guys. But it is incredibly important to understand that it's not anything that someone's doing wrong. It's not anything that's like they're a failure. No, this is a very huge change that you as their spouse are the most prime person to take care of them. So part of being that protector and provider is more than just physically like bringing them food on the table and keeping a house for them. It's also keeping tabs and keeping care on the mental status of your spouse. So if you start to notice that there's a change post-pregnancy or postpartum, it's incredibly important that you're there. Most of the time, it can be addressed through just love, affection, talking, being there, spending time together. But sometimes it does mean that, hey, you need to have intervention, because sometimes it truly is a chemical imbalance, and that can kind of be worked on. And sometimes it just needs a certain level of care and talking through, if we're talking like cognition therapy and things there that you're not really set up for, but you can be there for. So not a problem. My wife's doing amazing. It's not an issue. Thank God. All glory be to God on that. And it wasn't a problem last pregnancy, but it is something that is incredibly important for you as the spouse to be aware of, and for you to acknowledge and be prepared for, is that while you're also caring for an infant, you need to be watching for changes within your spouse and then getting them addressed early, because if left untreated, there are some crazy horror stories out there. They're very, very rare, but there are some crazy horror stories out there. So let me see. Yeah, no, somebody put in there, Jesus loves you more than you can comprehend, man. No, you're absolutely, my life is nothing but a blessing. Between my wife, my children, everyone else, absolutely. I can't in any way, shape, or form take credit for it. It's, all glory be unto God for that. But let's see. Hi, I know baby is still newborn, but how well he sleeps, may I ask? He might shift baby and Harlan a night shift, awake at night, baby during newborn phase. How did you guys manage it? Very new. So we've only had one night together with both Harlan and Barrett. So Barrett is currently in a bassinet next to our bed. We again going off the comment before, we are very blessed. So both our children sleep very well, and they have done so since they were both born. So Barrett he hasn't really cried much. And I think part of it's just we're a little bit more experienced, so we can kind of see the subtle shifts in him and go, "Oop, I know what that is." So we're kind of addressing his needs as he's starting to like express them, and not getting to the point where like he's being loud and letting us know that he wants something. And I really do think that's just, it's our second go around. Like we can kind of pick up on it. Okay, it's been about 2 hours. He's probably gonna be hungry. Oh, he's making the physical. Okay, he's making the noise. Let's go, right? And we know, okay, it's time to eat him. He poops great. So typically you feed him, he poops. Okay, so that's all addressed there. He does not like getting his diaper changed. Just is what it is. So he cries then, but for the rest of it, it's been pretty good. Harlan sleeps great through the night. Last night he woke up. It just happened to be when Barrett had also woken up. So Barrett woke up. I was cleaning Barrett's diaper and bringing him back to Hallie, because I'm trying to keep it to where she doesn't have to get up if she needs to, because she's breastfeeding, so she feeds him. Her milk just came in today, so we were still doing a little bit of formula supplement in the beginning, but now she doesn't really need a supplement, which is good. But so I was changing his diaper and just swallowed him and was getting him back into bed when Harlan goes, Dad! I heard him with a baby monitor. So I went and saw him. I was like, hey, buddy, I'm here. What's up? And he goes, I'm cold. I was like, okay. So he has a bunch of blankets on his bed. And he was wearing like a really thin blanket that he likes that has dinosaurs on it. So I grabbed a little bit thicker one, put it on him. And he goes, that's what I'm talking about. And he was just out. And I was like, okay. So I kind of rubbed his back and I waited 3 minutes and went, all right. And I got up and I went to bed. Harlan didn't wake up again that night. Barrett woke up another like 4 times. That just is what it is. My Aura Ring told me that last night I got 5 hours of sleep total in between like 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. So 5 hours of sleep, but with a lot of like short breaks where we're waking up. So it's manageable. Like it's manageable. It's not great. And then we took 1 or 2 naps throughout the day today. When Harlan napped, I took a nap, and then Hallie has been able to nap on and off in between feeding them because like I'll take Harlan and go, hey, dude, let's go to the park. Or I took him to the Barnes and Nobles and we were running around Barnes and Nobles with my mother. And Hallie got to nap because his bear was sleeping. So that's kind of how we've managed it. Is during the day, I'm taking on the main load of the toddler because I physically can and it makes sense. And then she spends one-on-one time with him in between her resting and feeding, so that he's still like, oh, mom still loves me, he's still with me, and all that. That's working. And then at night, they both sleep pretty well, so it's worked out. I don't really see too many issues there. Let's see. Gunner says, hi, Gunner. Let me see what happened in this country. It exists. That's a very broad statement. It said, I'm a mother of 4. I have 1 boy and 3 girls. How do I give the boy the same attention I can give to the girls? It's a great question. I would say this. With that, boys typically want attention physically. Girls typically want attention affirmationally. That's very general, but so with boys, a lot of times they want your physical presence. They may not even want you to do anything with them. They just kind of want you there. Whereas girls a lot of times want you to interact with them. They want you to talk with them, to affirm what they're saying and what they're doing. And that typically makes them a little bit happier. And boys, sometimes they just want to like walk over and be like, high five. All right, I'm gonna go back and play with my sand, but like, you're here. You like it? All right, cool. I'm gonna go play with my sand, and then they'll run off. That's good enough for most boys, depending on the age. And then every now and again, like you give him a noogie and give him a little pat on the back and say, hey, you did good. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit a stick. I'm gonna go poke that squirrel with a stick. I'm like, all right, go poke the squirrel with a stick, buddy. Sorry, not what I meant to say. Go poke the squirrel with a stick. And he's like, yeah. You think I can hit him with a rock? I'm like, yeah, you can probably hit him with a rock. He's like, yeah, I can hit him with a rock. And then he goes and plays with sand. That's kind of boys. So I know I'm being funny there, but it is more of like verbal affirmation. Oh, yeah, you're doing so good, honey. That's a wonderful. You really set up that room great. That would be amazing. We'd love to live that way. Oh, that painting's awesome. And then you look over at the kid and he's like, smacking a stick on the ground. He's like, think I can break this stick? I'm like, do it. And he's like, I did it. And you're like, yeah, high five. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go punch that cat. And you're like, you can try. You're not gonna catch him, but okay. And then the kid runs off, and you're like, all right, that's a boy. Case in point, there's one of my good friends. Their daughter comes up to him, brings him a little flower. He's like, I got this for you, mommy. She's like, yeah, it's so great. Oh, kid comes up. He's like, here you go. And she's like, that's a dog turd. And he's like, I got it for you. And she's like, thanks. Let's go wash your hands. Like that's kind of the difference there. And it sounds funny, but it's kind of how it is, right? Like to feed off that point, my toddler, he'll be 3 in May, and he does very well playing independently. He likes playing independently. His imagination is really flourishing, but he wants you in the same room as him. He doesn't care if you're playing with him. Sometimes he'll be like, hey, come play with me. And then he'll hand you a car, and he's got a car, and like you kind of do the cars. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go over here. And you're like, all right, dude. But he wants you near him. He doesn't want you to talk to him or acknowledge what he's doing. He just wants you there. He wants your physical presence. Whereas like my niece or like some of my cousins, you know, their kids or my friends and their daughters, like they really will, they'll check in. They'll be like, okay, am I doing good? And I'm like, no, it's awesome. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Would you like some tea? I'm like, oh, I love some tea. You know, and they're like, okay, should I go make some cookies? I'm like, or brownies? I'm like, well, do you like cookies or brownies? Well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I want a brownie. They're like, I'll go make you a brownie. Like that's kind of the interaction that you have. And my sons just, you know, kind of come up and be like, dinosaurs, they're dead. I'm like, yeah, dinosaurs are dead. And he's like, I want to climb one. I'm like, I do too. And he goes, all right, I'm gonna go play with my dinosaur. Like, and he runs off. I'm like, bye, buddy. Like, that's kind of boys, you know, in a nutshell. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Boys really are easier to, they're easier to raise. They're harder to keep alive. They require less attention from you immediately, but the attention you have to give them is usually like catastrophic because they're trying to jump off the roof or like shove a knife in an electrical socket, or I keep joking about like punching a cat, or they're trying to punch the neighborhood cat. Like boys do some wazoo stuff, but they're easier because they don't need you to like constantly give them a feedback loop. They just kind of need you to acknowledge they exist every now and again, and they're cool. Like that's good. Every kid's different, every situation's different, but that's generally what you kind of see with that. So you should be good. If you manage to raise 3 girls, you'll raise a boy just fine. Absolutely. But anyway, um, but yeah, so that's kind of us in a nutshell right now. We're doing well. Mom's doing well. Baby's doing well. Toddler's doing a fantastic job. I tell you, you know what? Actually, I wanted to say this, so now's the perfect time to say it. I'm gonna finish this set. I was so surprised and shocked, just absolutely shocked. I'd had people tell me this before, and I couldn't understand what they were saying until I went through it. Right? This is my parents telling me this, my friends telling me this, like watching videos. I could not understand what I was being told until I experienced it myself. So my toddler, right, my Harlan, my firstborn son, right, he'll be 3 in May. He's 35 pounds. He's like 3.5 feet tall. He's in the 99th percentile of growth or whatever. He got a big head, big feet. You know, he's gonna be a big kid. He is a big kid. But as my baby, you know, that's my baby. I tell him, oh, my baby, you know. And it just in my mind, he was still this little freaking thing, little burrito that I brought home with me. And I was like, oh, this is mine now. Okay, I'll keep him alive, you know? And it's just kind of what he's always been. He's always been this little baby to me until Barrett was born on Thursday. And I held Barrett and I was like, wow, you look just like your older brother, you know? And I'm having all the flashbacks of, oh, I'll call it 3 years, a little under 3 years, but 3 years ago, I was in the same hospital, the same place, same faces, same nurses, same doctors, you know, like, oh, they even have the same like swaddling cloth decoration on the little ducks. I'm like, wow, this all looks the same room, same crappy bed to sleep on, same hospital, just a little bit more rundown now. I'm joking. It's actually a lot nicer. They renovated it. But, you know, it's like, oh, this is all the same. And then my toddler runs up to me to come see us. And I picked him up. And in that moment, it clicked. Everyone had told me beforehand what I told you I couldn't comprehend until I did it myself. Is when you go to the hospital and you say bye to your older kid, that's the last time they're ever a little kid. I didn't get it. But then I got it. I picked him up, you know, Dad! Runs, gives me a big hug, and I pick him up. I'm like, oh, buddy. And he felt like 15 times larger than when I saw him less than 2 days ago. It was incredible. It's completely psychological. I don't know what it is, but it's completely psychological. He just grew. He grew. He was a big kid now. And now Barrett is my baby. And I'm like, wow, I get it. I never got it before. I didn't understand, didn't comprehend it, but now I get it. And he really is. I picked him up. I was like, dude, who's this beast? Who's this man living in my house? Uh, Nothing's changed for him. He doesn't know a difference. So I can't act differently because I don't. It's not that I don't love him the same. Of course I do. I love him the same. He's my baby, but he's not a baby anymore. He's a big kid now. Now I've got another baby. So that was probably the biggest shock about everything here. Everything else has been, oh, I've done this, so we've got a little bit of experience, all this. But that was the shock of the first time holding my firstborn and realizing that, oh, you're like, you've grown up. You're now a big brother. You know, you're not the baby anymore. You're now a big brother. And I can't keep thinking of holding you like this, and I have to start thinking about holding you like, you know, this, because you're 3.5 feet tall and 35 pounds and can speak in paragraphs. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a big kid. So that was probably the biggest shocker, if you will. And please, did anybody else experience anything like that? And if you did, like what was kind of how did it work for you? Because um, it's taken me a little bit to get used to it because I still think of him as like my little baby, but he's not. Um, yeah, all blessings and good though. It's all good stuff. It's just growth. You know, we all grow as human beings. That's just him growing outside of the idea I had of him in my head, right? And that's on me. I had that idea that he was still a child, that he was still like a baby, but he's not. He's a big boy. He's a big brother now. So, um, sorry, you guys are going on an awkward walk with me as I go get a Diet Coke because I'm thirsty and I like Diet Coke. But and the store near us had an amazing deal, so I got like 10 cases of these things for like $25. I was like, yeah, okay. So I've got like a mountain of Diet Coke in my garage now. It's awesome. Um, but, oop, as I'm dropping them. But no, the whole experience was good. My wife has even said, she was like, yeah, no, we can have a third. I was like, oh, good. Anytime you walk away from giving birth and we're like, yeah, we could do it again. I'm like, oh, yeah, you had a good experience. Because if you were like, no, never again, I'd be like, that was a little sketch. But no, she's happy. She's already like, okay, when are we thinking about a third? And I'm like, I don't know, 2 years. And she's like, yeah, we're getting kind of old. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. But no, it's all good stuff. So we've had a good time of it. Definitely grateful that everything kind of worked out there. So, well, cool. Well, either way, I'm gonna throw a poll up because I was thinking about stuff, right? And we can kind of take that. I actually like this lighting way better. I may move my weights over here. Let me try to throw this. Can I throw up pictures? I think I can. I think I can. I think I saw somebody do that before. How do I do that? No, that's an effect. I don't want to do that. Sorry. This is old man trying to figure this out. Oh, here we go. All right, so let me see. You guys get to see me awkwardly scrolling through. Okay. All right, so this is, I'll step out. So this is Harlan and Barrett. So Harlan, obviously, boop, boop, boop. Barrett, little guy right here. Nah, man, they're doing great. So I've never done this before. This is kind of a new feature for me. I'm just awkwardly hanging out over here. Boop, 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 boop. But no, this is them. They're doing great. Truly happy with everything they've done. I might have to start doing this more. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. So let me try. Is there another one I can do? Oh yeah. Okay, so this was us, right? That's not the one I wanted. Where's the one with the rim in it? Sorry, I have too many pictures on my phone. There we go. All right, so for everybody looking on here, so this is our family now. So we've got Dog down here. Awesome corgi, love him to death. There's me, tired. There's Harlan, who is coming up on 3 in May. There's awesome mom. My finger keeps disappearing, but there's awesome mom. And then this is baby Barrett. So that's kind of the fam now. Um, Obviously, we're doing good. We're super happy to be here. Super happy to be healthy and having fun. I've never tried this before. It's really weird how it's freaking out, but I'm learning. Let's see. It says I can do a video. Can I play a video on here? Oh, that just turns my video off. Okay, sorry. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Um, oh, that makes. Oh no. Okay, sorry. I thought I could play a video. I'm green screening. I've never green screened before. That's cool. I didn't know you could do this. This is what happens when you give an old guy a phone. But just show you guys. So this was somebody was asking about sleep. So this was sorry, my phone's moving, and so it keeps like wigging out with the background. Um, so anyway, so this was us first night back, and obviously that's me. That's my older son Harlan, and basically somebody was asking me like, "How does he feel about stuff?" Dude, I was putting him down for bed. He flat out trapped me. He was like, "I'm sleeping on top of you. You're not going anywhere. You're going to sleep with me, Dad. I haven't seen you in like 3 days or 2 days or whatever it was. Like, dude, you're stuck." Which is great. It's a great feeling to have that your kid really wants to be around you and all that. So obviously he loves his brother, loves spending time with him and all that, but he definitely was clingy when we got home. And then I think, yep, that was them all the next morning. It won't let me, it's a weird cut on the photo, but whatever. So this was us kind of like waking up after the first morning, and mom's kind of tired because, it's as you are. I think this one might be better. Yeah, there we go. That's a much better one. So this is us. First morning, we're back, and Harlan is all on mom. He just wants to be with her, wants to see her, wants to have that. He super loves baby Barrett, loves him, and then mom is just happy as can be. I took the photo, so I'm not in the photo, obviously. I think Remy was like licking their feet or something at the bottom. So we were all hanging out, having fun, having a good time. So, let me see. My wife and I have 3-month-old twins. Well, congratulations to you both. They're our first, and we don't want our kids to have a very big age gap, and we've already thinking about a third. Do you think it's too soon for her to be pregnant? It depends, right? So I'm gonna get off the green screen for a second because it's kind of wigging me out a little bit because it keeps like being weird. I guess I'll throw Baby Barrett up there because it's a super cute photo. Before I go, it's a little weird in the background. Sorry, it's twitching. So it depends on how she gave birth, right? And I would definitely consult with your doctor because, like, my wife, sorry, let's get my Diet Coke. So my wife just had a C-section for Baby Barrett here, and the doctor basically said like, hey, you need 9 to 12 months before you even think about getting pregnant again. Let your body kind of fix itself, recover, all of that. Okay, now it's awkward because it's my garage. But your body needs to recover, get back into sorts kind of thing. So definitely consult with your physician, your OBGYN. They'll be able to give you some good advice there about how long you should wait. I don't know if she had it naturally or if you had a cesarean section, C-section. Jeez, I can't talk. But that's going to play a role in it because the health of mom is very important, right? It's probably the most important thing if you're planning a pregnancy, because you can control that. And if you know that it might potentially have some issues, yeah, you want to plan around that, right? You don't want to plan into a problem, right? Problems happen because of life. We don't plan into problems. We plan to mitigate problems. So keep that in mind. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with short age gaps between kids. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I have almost 3 years between our first boy and our second boy. We've already been talking now that we may only have like 18 to 24 months between our second and our third because we do want three. But a lot of that's going to be based off of doctor recommendations because she just had a C-section and they already said that they want us to wait at least a year before we start trying again because they want her to fully heal and get back together, which makes sense. I mean, I trust them. That's not what my degrees are in, so I trust the OBGYNs on that. Blue Bear says, hi, good to see you on here. Sorry, taking a little Coke break. But yeah, no, great question. Super congratulations to you guys for the twins. That's awesome. Hope everybody's happy and healthy and having a good time. But yeah, I really would talk to your doctor with that family planning and just ask what their medical opinion is about how long you should wait before you start trying again. Because they may surprise you and tell you like, no, you're good. If you want to wait, 6 weeks, fine. If oh, you're already 3 months, you could start again. That's great. Or if they tell you like, hey, you really should wait a year, I would just trust them. They're only gonna speak to your wife's health and best interest on that. But I guess question for everybody on: do you want me to go back to like throwing pictures up? Because I didn't even know I could do that. That's a new feature for me. I know it's probably been around for forever, but I'm an old guy. Do you guys want to see more pictures? Because I threw a couple up. Do you want to see baby? You want to see mom? How they're doing? Because they're doing great. I'm happy. I'm proud. Proud dad. So you're seeing a proud dad on who's obviously not actually working out as much as I thought I was going to because I'm chatting with you guys. Water would be better than Coca-Cola. You mean like the stuff that's in the toilet? If you're old enough to know what that reference is, you have to take ibuprofen when you get up in the morning. Brondo. It's what the plants crave. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I love Diet Coke, and I've had like one. Been stuck in a hospital, so sue me. But yes, obviously water's good. I drink a ridiculous amount of water throughout the day, which is why every now and again I like to break it up with coffee or a Diet Coke. I don't really drink anything else, but I do enjoy a little bit of soda every now and again. My son calls it spicy water, which I think is hilarious. He'll look at me and go, "Hey, Dad, what you drinking?" I'm like, "Coke," and he goes, "Spicy water." I'm like, "Spicy water." He goes, "No, I don't like it." I'm like, "Good, go drink a juice." But what kind of question is, how can I give him attention? He is your child. Isn't that enough? Well, let's be nice. I think that you're probably referencing a couple questions back where somebody asked specifically. They weren't asking just in general. They were asking a very specific question about they've had three girls and now they have a boy, and they're very used to dealing with girls, and they're asking someone who's a father of a boy, hey, how do I kind of give him what he needs? I think that's a valid question. It never hurts to phone a friend, right? um, I wouldn't interpret someone asking that question as someone's like inability to care for their child. I wouldn't go that far. I would say it's okay. It's a valid question, but yeah, I would say that yes, you can still love for your child while also asking somebody, hey, am I doing a good enough job? Do you have advice? Do you have help? Sure, I think all that's fine. Um, yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, I'm not saying you're being mean or anything. I'm just saying like, there's it's always okay to phone a friend if you have a question, right? Um, the OBGYN just said to wait 9 weeks before intercourse after she gave birth, but we will talk to the doctor before getting pregnant. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, no worries, man. And hey, best of luck to you guys. Congratulations on the twins. I really hope that everybody's sleep cycle is kind of working out and you guys getting used to it. I have twin sisters. One of them's actually sleeping right above us right now, my guest bedroom. She's here with her son, my nephew, and my mom. So I have younger twin sisters, and I can remember because there's a 6 year age gap between us. I can remember when they were born, just them running around. Okay, we got to get a bottle of one, bottle of the other one. One's got to get a diaper, the other one's got to get a diaper. My poor mother, just doing the best she could, and she had a C-section, so she was kind of sore, and it's yeah, I remember being 6 and trying to help, and I'd be feeding one of them. My wife, or not, oh my gosh, not what I meant. I would be feeding one of my sisters. My mom would be feeding the other one while my dad was at work, and my grandmother was there, and she would help and all this, and be feeding them and all that. It was just crazy. So twins are fun because you get all of the duties of having a baby, but you get it doubled at the same time. And mom's typically more tired because it's more of a strain on her. So yeah, it's great. Let me see. Her sleep schedule is horrible. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it happens, you know. But it will get better. I promise it'll get better. Um, waiting for baby fever trailer. I already did that. Did you see it? I posted that already. I did the here. Let me throw the picture up that I took from it. So I did it. This is from I did a screenshot of a video I took earlier that I titled "Baby Fever," and it's Barrett just before I came down here. He was just snoozing away. He's such a cute little guy. Obviously I'm a proud, like, oozing proud dad, but he was just snoozing away with his little baby snores, and we had swaddled him, but he refuses to stay swaddled, so he always gets his arms out. You can see he's got one out here, he's got his other out here. He just, tucked his little arm in and was just snoozing away, making little noises. So yeah, if you go to the channel, I have it. Excuse me. I've got it thrown up on the channel. It's titled "Baby Fever." Let me see. That's a teaser. We want a full trailer. Ah, well, hey, give me a little break, guys. I just got back from the hospital like yesterday. Okay, yesterday late in the afternoon. I haven't even like fully done all the laundry or cleaned the dishes yet. All right. Let me see. Somebody says AI baby. Nope. Definitely not an AI baby. That's my son. I was there when he was born. He's actually asleep upstairs right now. Let me show you. Oh, actually, I think, let me go back. Sorry, I'm gonna have to scroll for a little bit. Oh, cool. It does let me open up my photos. Awesome. I'm learning new stuff, guys. Bear with me. I'm like an old dude with a phone. Never give the old dude the phone. Where is the picture I wanted to get? Here it is. Perfect. Let's do this one. All right. So, um, this is them when they're a little bit less happy. But so this is Barrett. He was crying, but that was the photo I got at the hospital. And then this is Harlan. So almost 3 years apart, but to me they look very similar. So I was just amazed at how similar they both look. Let me see. Our sleep schedule is horrible because one baby will only breastfeed and the other will only bottle feed, so we both have a job. No, but that's good. That's good because it would be absolutely terrible if they both only breastfed and then your wife's milk wasn't quite there, because then you'd just be fighting a bottle into them and all that. So, um, it'll work. Just make sure you keep track of them. If they're identical, it's a little dicey keeping track of them. I remember I have identical twin sisters, and the way that my parents helped keep track of them was Lauren, the older of the two. They painted her toenails red, and so they could always be like, "Oh, that's Lauren," because otherwise, like, you could not tell them apart, especially when they were little. Now, as they grew a little bit, we could tell them apart. I can tell them apart today, but if you're outside the family and you see them for the first time, you're like, "Oh, yeah, you look exactly alike." I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're identical twins." So, but yeah, who's this Dumb D? Yeah, Dumb D. It's not an AI baby, man. That's definitely my kid. I was there. Um, but yeah, so that's Barrett and Harlan's at the hospital baby pictures, and this is, let me see. So that is from when Harlan and Barrett met for the first time. So you just see him, just how happy he is, man. He is just the happiest big brother in the world. He's asleep, and she is just ecstatic. And you couldn't see me, but I'm like crying in the background, man, because I'm so happy. Just everything worked out well. And over there, that's the only thing that got me through the hospital. Coffee, lots of coffee. But let me see. One's a boy, one's a girl, but they still really hard for me to tell them apart. But my wife knows who is who. Yeah. But obviously, as they grow, you'll be able to tell apart. Yeah. No, it's awesome though. It's great that. No, it's great. I wish the best for your family. I hope that they have nothing but happy blessings and tidings, and that you guys definitely get the sleep schedule all figured out. But yeah, I'll go back to somebody's calling it AI baby. It's not AI baby. So special, great family. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No, we're doing great. Obviously, part of this is just me bragging because, like, I'm a happy dad, so I'm bragging about my family. I think this is a good photo too, guys. I don't know about you, but I think the photo came out really well. Um, Yeah, no problem, man. And best of luck to the twins. It gets better. It really does. And then if you want a third, I will tell you that from my wife's perspective, even though it's only been like 2 days, uh, it looks more edited than AI. Yeah, believe it or not edited either. I actually didn't do anything to it. So I took this with night mode. So it's like the phone made me hold still for like 7 seconds while it took the photo, and it came out awesome. I didn't edit it at all. I probably would have jacked it up if I tried editing it, because like I typically, when I edit photos and stuff, I end up oversaturating them, and then people look like really red. It's just like my own bias of trying to make people look tanner, like white. I try to make white people look tanner, and I end up just making them look flushed. It's a problem. I've worked in video editing and stuff for years, and like I'm not great at it, like video and photo editing. I'm a much better manager and not quite as good of a doer, which is fine because if I'm doing it, like we're really messed up. But oh, good night. Yeah, good night to you. It's good to see you on here. But no, I just think that this photo came out crazy. But yeah, I took it with because it was a little dark in the room because he was sleeping and my wife was taking a shower, so I was watching him for a minute before I came down here to work out in the garage, and I just thought he was the cutest little thing in the world. So, boom, I did it, and it was like a what was it? Yeah, it was like 7 seconds where it made me just hold still, and it came out great. Let me see, cute baby. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think he's beautiful too. I think he looks just like his brother. I think they both look like that. That's just me. Let me see. I enjoy your shorts. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So I guess I'll throw this out there. Let me see if I can not block my kid's face because everybody wants to see the baby, not the ugly dad. But so for the shorts and all that kind of stuff. So I started this whole YouTube channel thing. So we're military, so we're always traveling. Our family's all across the world, and it was really kind of hard. Everybody wanted pictures of the kids. Everybody wanted videos. Everybody wanted to chat, and I was just like, man, we were paying for this baby list. I don't know what it was called. It was some like app thing. My wife was putting photos on so everybody could see it, so we didn't have to like text people photos constantly. And I didn't want to pay for that. And I was working at a news agency at the time where we did all of our promos on YouTube. And they would just do like unlisted, send it to the client. They could read the link, and they'd be like, okay, and then they would approve it, and then we'd throw the commercial on TV. I was like, that's a really good idea. I'm just gonna do that. And then I started thinking, I was like, it's a pain to send links out to people from the scene. I haven't really solved anything except for not paying for it. I'll just make it public and they can just look at it. And it was like 2 months later, they're like, YouTube was like, oh, hey, you're monetized. I was like, oh, well, okay. I wasn't trying to, but cool. And I just throw random stuff up there. It's just like photos and videos and stuff I take on the phone, and then I do things like this, kind of to brag about my family, and kind of we've got like 20 something thousand people that routinely email me, and or not everybody, obviously everybody doesn't email me, I wouldn't be able to respond to it, but we got people that comment and are pretty active. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me do updates every now and again, and we'll kind of talk and chat. So it's ballooned into something a little bit bigger than what it originally was intended for, which was just a way to freely disseminate videos to the family without me and my wife having to work hard for it. So but yeah, so as far as the shorts and all that, dude, that's just us. This is just who we are. That's just me shooting videos and going, all right, cool. I'll just boom, click upload, and it takes like 5 seconds, and then the whole family can see it. And you'll see sometimes if you ever comment or anything on them, you'll see me commenting with my family where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be name dropping people, and I've had people go before like, who's that? I'm like, oh, it's my sister. Well, who are you messaging? I'm like, it's my other sister, like because this was intended to be a family thing. But obviously, everybody's welcome. It's public. We're never going to put something up that we're ashamed of or anything like that, of course. So anything we put up is public. I'm totally cool with it being out there. I don't mind people knowing about it. I celebrate it, doing things like this. I celebrate this. I'm super happy about my family. I love sharing with people. I love giving advice, the opportunities that the channel has kind of presented to express and associate with people. So it's been good. But thank you. I appreciate it so much for saying that you enjoy the shorts and things there. You said C-section, she was walking fine in a video. Yeah, no, she's doing great, man. She's doing awesome. Yeah, she's doing great. So the day after, so we had the C-section at 10 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and Friday in the afternoon, we did our first lap around the baby recovery ward. We only did one lap, and then she kind of sat down. She was like, "Okay, that wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible." And then by day two, she had done, throughout the course of the day, she had done about 6 or 7 laps, and she goes, "Okay, I feel good." Day three, the day we were getting released, I think. Let me think. That was Friday, Saturday. Oh, today's day three. So day three, we went on a walk around, just down the street and back. We didn't go far. We probably walked for like a total of about 5 minutes, but she did awesome. She's walking, she's moving. She's like, "Yeah, I feel good." Painkillers help, but no, she's doing great. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Hallie had a C-section, but she has tolerated it incredibly well, and I'm super proud of her and everything that she's done. You have 2 very beautiful children. You are now contemplating a third. Yes, we were actually just talking about it before I came down here to work out and chat with you guys. We're definitely contemplating a third. Now it's just a matter of like, okay, how long do we wait? Some of it's like doctor is saying wait about a year. Okay, so there's some medical timing to it with her having a C-section and all that, that kind of plays into it. And then there's some professional timing and school age and when does she want to go back to work? Is she going to go back to work? All of those kind of conversations that still need to be fleshed out. But yes, we did want 3. 2 beautiful boys, love them to death, both of them. Obviously, it would be kind of cool if our third was a girl, just so we have a girl too. But oh man, it just started raining like crazy outside. But if we have 3 boys, hey, we have 3 boys, and it'll be great too. But yeah, we are definitely thinking of a third. Don't know when yet, but we're thinking of a third. I know this is a dumb question, but is the second baby easier? Yes. The answer is yes. Going to the hospital, feeding them, changing them, holding them, all this. I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm actually gonna. He's a lucky. He has L. Little sis. Yes, yeah, if he's lucky. She's cute. No, he's cute. Boy, boy. I have 2 boys. So you asked. So the question was, is the second kid easier? The answer is yes. So perfect example, wife is still getting completely patched up and brought to the recovery room. I'm holding my son. I bring him back. We go to the incubator. The nurse is a different nurse came in. She was cleaning him up, all of this. And so she looks at me, and I'm just sitting there. I'm still wearing my little outfit. And she's like, "Oh, you should probably take that off," because I have blood all over me and stuff. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I should probably take that off." So I take it off. I throw it off. I'm scrubbing stuff off. And we're like, "Okay." And then she's like, "All right, you can hold him if you want to." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Boom, I reach down, scoop him up, hold him, kind of bounce him. And she was like, "Ah!" Like her face was, "Ah!" She was like, because, and she even said it afterwards too. She goes, "Ah!" Like her hands went like this. And I looked at her, I was like, "Not my first kid." And she goes, "Oh, okay, all right." And after that, it was funny because it was after that the nurses were all like, "Oh," and they just went back to what they were doing. But legitimately, like 3 of them had come over and they were going to be like, "Okay, you got to hold his neck and support him and all this." And the second I went, "Not my first kid," they literally, 3 of them just were like, "Oh," went right back to work. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." Dude, I will tell you the attitude of the care workers, and it's not bad. It's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing. They're like, "Oh, you already have a kid. You know how to do this," which is not entirely true because every kid's different and you still got to figure everything out. You never really know what you're doing as a parent. You're just kind of winging it and hoping it works. But it is easier because you have confidence. You've raised a child at this point. You didn't kill the first one. You're probably not going to kill the second one. I know that's a terrible way to articulate it. And sorry, I'm military. I have a dark sense of humor. But sorry, my wife's texting me. 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. If she needed to put my Oura ring on the charger, if I had left it upstairs, I was like, "No, I'm wearing it right now." Anyway, though, so yeah, it's you just have more confidence, mostly because you have done it before, so it is easier. Also, you kind of already have all the stuff at your house. Like I'll show you guys. Let me get off of this picture of my son, even though it's cute and I don't want to. If you look behind me, you see all those empty spaces? That was all baby stuff. And there's still a few baby things like the play mats, and there's still some toys, and there's like a seat up there. There's a high chair I haven't put together because he doesn't need it for a while over there. all those kind of things, right? So your second kid is also easier because you already have everything. You've got everything you need, so you're not like, oh, am I ready? Do I have what I need? Do I need to go to the store? No, you have it. I've got clothes to handle this kid forever because his older brother he can always wear his hand-me-downs, right? So I've got all the things and the stuff, and we've given the baths, and we have the sterilizers. Sorry, my wife was saying that she's calling him Bubs, by the way, so I guess I have to get used to calling that. She's calling Barrett Bubs. So she's saying that Bubs has been cluster feeding. She's like, he's eating so much. I'm like, it's my boy. He's gonna be big like his brother. But yeah, so the second kid's easier just because you're much more comfortable with what you're doing. So it's not a dumb question at all. It's a legitimate question, and the answer is yeah, it's easier, man. Oh my God, he's cute. He's cute. Not she's cute. He's cute. No, you're good. No problem. Babies, it's hard to tell when they're real little, and as my wife says, when they're real new. But yeah, no, I think he's cute too. So, gotcha. Okay. Let me see. What a cute baby. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Military humor, so dark humor. No, you don't talk like ex-military. Probably because I'm not ex. Kind of still in. Only about halfway through my career. But yes, very much dark humor. I try to not hide it, but I don't really lean into it too much especially when I'm talking or doing videos and stuff, because there are things that know your audience, kind of know what you're talking about, or who you're talking to, and there have definitely been times where I've said something and went, that might not go over well, and usually it does. People just kind of let it roll off, but sometimes it can make people uncomfortable, and I'm like, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, so I'm not going to make a joke or say something that kind of messes with the mood. Or try not to. Sometimes it just slips out, but for the most part, I try to watch my mouth. I'm also a dad, so I'm used to like suppressing my language because there's little ears around, so it's not that big of a change from that. All right, let me see. Hi. Well, hello, chillin'. Good to see you on. But for real though, guys, it's been great. I got this. Sorry for all the questions. My brain is still kind of scrambled with twins. Nah, no worries, dude. I got you, man. My brain's scrambled. I got a toddler and a 2-day-old or 3-day-old. I feel you, dude. I haven't slept much. It's probably why I'm like wired, because I haven't slept. Wife's feeding Bubs. I guess we're gonna call him Bubs. Wife's feeding Monkey Man. Says hi. Hi, Monkey Man. Wife's feeding Bubs right now, and Harlan's sleeping great. HB's sleeping great. So we're good. I'm actually about to go because I gotta let the dog out. I guess my wife like opened up the baby gate and he ran down, so I gotta go let him out. It's starting to rain, so I don't know if he'll use the bathroom, but I gotta at least try to let him go potty, and then I'm gonna try to get some sleep. So let me see. Soon I will post a reel about your family. Oh, well, thank you. Hopefully it's flattering. I don't know. Get my good side. No, I'm just playing. No, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Let me see, dude. You are ripped. Thank you. I work out. I wouldn't say I'm ripped. I'm definitely still have a dad bod for sure. But I have the next 87 days off. You heard me right. 87. That's crazy. I've never had that much time off in my life. I was deployed when, let me see. I was deployed when my wife was pregnant with Harlan. So we just found out she was pregnant. I left on a rotation. I got back from a rotation 1 week before he was born. I was there for the birth, thank God. So I was there for the birth of my first son. And then 4 weeks after he was born, I left on a 1-year geo-bachelor assignment. So I left for a year and then came back. I still got to come home on I had to drive a lot, but I came home on the weekends and flew home and took a train sometimes if I was really tired. But I got to see them a good bit, but I was gone for the first year of my son's life, and then came back, kind of settled into the assignment that I just finished up last Wednesday, and now I'm taking paternity leave for 84 days into PCS because we're moving. We're moving from North Carolina to Florida. So I'm taking 30 days with that, and there's some other numbers and stuff in there. So either way with it, I've got the next 87 days off from work. So once things kind of settle in here, I am definitely going to go hit the gym up a good bit more. So my plan is to get shredded again. I would love to get back to. So right now I'm about 100 and about 189 pounds. I'm like 5'9", 189. Like I'm not big. I'm that guy that you see. You're like, he goes to the gym, but he doesn't say no to tacos, and he definitely eats a cookie every now and again. I want to go from that back into the guy that walks by and he goes, "Dang, that dude works out a lot." And be like, "Yeah." So I could get there. I know how to get there. I've got the plans and all that. It's all in my head. I know how to get it. I just got to go do it. So the plan is over the next basically 87 days, sell my house, move, finish ILE, finish or continue working on my dissertation for my PhD, and hit the gym a ton. So thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. Definitely not shredded though. Let me see. My name is Amaris. Well, hello, Amaris, and welcome here. Nice to have you on. Let me see. When is your retirement? 10 years from now, if I'm lucky. So 10 years from now, if I'm lucky, I will be retiring from the Army. Let me see. You're lucky to have 87 days off. I had to go back and work 1 month after my wife gave birth. Yeah, I feel you, man. Like I said, with my first son, it was right at about a month. I had to go, and I had to go away for a year. So not only did I go back to work, I actually moved away, and my wife and son stayed in North Carolina, and I moved to Georgia. So I was driving back and forth. I would leave work on Friday, drive 4 hours from Savannah back to Fort Bragg to see my wife and my son, and then I would leave at 3 a.m. on Monday morning to go back and be at work. And I did that for a year. It was miserable. Then I came back up here, did another 2 year stint in Bragg, and now we are all, thank God, we're all moving, all of us moving together down to Florida. So it'll be a good little stint to have the whole family together for an extended period of time because I've been gone. I've been in and out of the country on this previous assignment that I just finished up. I was gone average 2 weeks a month, so it's been a little rough. I'm ready for some time off with the family. So let me see. Pounds, what pounds? Pounds talking in kilograms? So 8.3 pounds. Beer math in it, that's about, see, a pound is 2.2 pounds is 1 kilo. So 2.2, 4.4, 6.6, 8, 10. So it's a little under 4 kilos would be, yeah. So my son is a little under 4 kilos, if you're asking. So, and then how did you both meet? Post a video or include it in a movie, Baby Fever. I definitely don't have videos from, God, 14 years ago. I don't have any videos from 14 years ago. But yeah, we've been together for 14 years. So we met in college. We both came into college together at the same time. We met early on. We actually went on a date before we started college. We didn't go to high school or anything together. We just met, and we ended up going to school together. We spent 4 years in college together, and we got married soon after I commissioned and finished up training and all of that. And then yeah, we've been together ever since. So it's been a fun ride, but yeah, no, it's been a good time. Yeah. Sleep paralysis demons? No, I say my prayers. I'm safe. But with that, though, that's a good jumping off point. It's been fun, guys. I do got to go let the dog out. I got to start going to bed myself. Now that I'm back home and going to start falling back into routine, I might start doing some of these again and just enjoying it. So I'm going to respond to the last comment, and then I'm going to bounce. So let's see. I've been with mine for about the same length. I hear you're planning on burying yours. think I get what you're talking about. Assuming that we're talking about spouses, okay? I hear you're planning on burying yours. Yes, but not anytime soon. I'm gonna take that comment and put it in a more positive spin and say, yes, I'm planning on being married to my wife our entire lives. That is indeed the plan. 14 years together, and the hope is that we both die in each other's arms one day. Like 108 million years in the future, with our great 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 grandchildren running around. No, but yes, the hope is that we will be together our entire lives, and that our lives may be long, fruitful, and happy, and that when we both die, we are wrapped together in God's glory in heaven together. That's the plan. So, we'll see. No, okay. All right, yeah, no, we're already divulging. No, I will absolutely not be meeting up with anybody, and no, I don't get high. How did your older boy feel about the new baby? Last comment, promise. He felt amazing. I do have a couple of videos on the channel if you actually want to see it. It's like toddler meets baby or something like that. And then there's like a couple of them playing today. He's doing awesome. He's having a great job. He really loves being a big brother, and he really loves his little brother. So it's been great. So he feels good. He's super happy about it. Family's doing great. But it was good chatting with you guys. Wish you all the best luck, and hopefully I see you again soon. So, bye, guys.